Cam Newton has been placed on the IR by the Carolina Panthers, and what seems to be the question that many are asking now is, will Cam ever suit up again for the Carolina Panthers? There are a number of scenarios in which they can envision probably keeping Cam next year, but there's also a very plausible scenario that we have seen him in his last game as a Carolina Panther. But another question that has to be asked is, what kind of legacy does Cam Newton have now that it appears that his time may be coming to an end in Carolina? What kind of legacy does he leave behind as a player for the franchise, as one of their all-time greats? And what could it have been had he won that Super Bowl back in 2016? Let's take a look at the here and now, but also let's discuss the legacy of Cam Newton.
Perfect.
Cam Newton, a one-of-a-kind player who changed the way the quarterback position was played and was considered a phenom the moment he was drafted with the first overall pick by the Carolina Panthers in 2011. Cam Newton emerged as one of the new faces of the NFL before he ever took a single snap. At his best, he led the Panthers to a 15-1 record and a Super Bowl appearance, a historic MVP-winning season unrivaled by any team in Panthers franchise history. And for a franchise that hadn't seen the level of success reminiscent of its first Super Bowl appearance back in 2003, this was more than a welcome sight for the Charlotte faithful. Along the way, Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers were setting records during their historic season at all-time highs, with Cam being a significant reason for their success. When looking at the statistics, the tail of the tape puts Cam Newton in some elite company. In 2015, Cam accounted for 76% of the Panthers' almost 5,900 yards of total offense, a number that puts him second only to Super Bowl champion Drew Brees from the New Orleans Saints, who in 2012 accounted for 78% of his team's total offensive yardage. He also ranked fourth in turnovers per play behind Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning, and seventh most total touchdowns in a single season, having 35 passing touchdowns and 10 rushing scores. But the elephant in the room is the accolade Cam was not able to bring home to Charlotte. In his Super Bowl debut, Newton had an unimpressive showing and a bit of controversy when he was unable to step up during what was at the time the biggest moment of his football career. Fair, in the heat of the moment, there are situations as a player where you have to decide whether it's worth it to expose your body to injury because of a pileup over a fumble. And to give you a perfect example of worst case scenario, look at the 2005 San Diego Chargers. Playing against the Denver Broncos in week 17, John Lynch hits then Chargers quarterback Drew Brees from behind, causing a fumble in the same manner that Cam's fumble was caused by Von Miller. Different from Cam, Drew Brees dives into the pileup and he gets landed on by a 325-pound defensive lineman, tearing his labrum and effectively ending his career in San Diego as their quarterback. But there is an inherent difference as to Drew Brees' situation with the Broncos in week 17 and Cam Newton against the Denver Broncos in the Super Bowl. And it's the Super Bowl. In this situation, in the biggest moment on the biggest stage in all of sports, Cam Newton was given an opportunity to set himself atop the football world, but now that is a big asterisk in the legacy of Cam Newton. In the time since his historic 2015 MVP season, Cam has struggled to maintain the level of play befitting a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. Some might even say that he's been stumbling down from the peaks of that level of play since the infamous Fumblegate situation during the Super Bowl. For evidence of this, let's take a look at some important statistics to contextualize where his game has peaked and where he's stumbled since 2015. In that season, the average net yards per pass in the NFL was 6.3. Cam's average was 7.2. Almost an entire yard above the NFL average. But as you can see, in the season following that 7.2 yard average, he dips down an entire yard, which actually kept him above the NFL average by 3/4 of a yard. In 2017, he dipped even further down to 5.3 yards per pass, which was over half a yard lower than the NFL average at 5.9 yards per pass. It goes without saying that Cam's level of production somewhat cratered in the years since the Super Bowl appearance, and while there have been injuries that have stunted the growth of Cam since reaching Super Bowl 50, his overall play has not been up to par. Now for the most telling quarterback statistic recorded by the NFL, Let's take a look at the passer ratings for Cam Newton since 2015. As you can see, in 2015, Cam Newton's passer rating was 99, which at the time was the highest of his entire career. And after that 2015 season, you can see that his passer rating fell off a cliff down to 75.8, almost a 25-point drop. In 2018, Cam Newton started the regular season on course for what could have been his best season yet. In week 1 through 9, his quarterback rating sat at 100.8, the best of his career, but oddly enough, was only good enough to place him in the top 10 for quarterback ratings with 15 touchdown passes to only 4 interceptions at 59% completion. But in contrast, weeks 10 to 17, his quarterback rating dropped to 85.9 for 9 touchdowns and 9 interceptions at 54.5% completion. To surmise, inconsistency has played a huge role in Cam's progression or regression as a football player. I think this begs the questions. Was 2015 just an anomaly? And when it's all said and done, is Cam Newton ever going to reach that level of play again? Only time will tell. As for his legacy as a Panther, it can't be denied that he will go down as one of the all-time great Panther players in franchise history. But I also think that one of the largest looming memories for Cam Newton as a Carolina Panther will be of the opportunities missed when in his grandest moment, he was unable to reach that shining hilltop and hoist that ever-coveted football prize, the Lombardi Trophy. This has been your observant lineman, Uche Nwaneri. Hit the like button if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace.
Perfect.